Right, we continue with the story. Genesis chapter 40. Joseph interprets dreams. He's been put into prison for a crime he didn't commit. But the keeper of the prison says, this guy's a good man. Ants are biting me again. Ouch! I always try to mess up the vibes. See them down here? Always trying to get me. Put in prison for a crime he didn't commit. That he didn't lose his faith. He didn't lose his head. Literally and figuratively. And God is with him. Shouldn't favor him. But God has also put him into positions. Through all the calamities he's been through, God is setting him up higher and nearer. Despite how they wanted to put him lower. Like in the pit when he first sold him into slavery, his brothers. God is slowly promoting him. When you see that he's responsible with a little, God is putting him higher and higher. Very interesting. He became almost like a sacrificial lamb to do something wonderful that's about to happen. Because God's about to do something interesting on Egypt that's going to change the whole world. Let's see what happens. Let's start from the beginning again of chapter 40, because let's make it simple. Genesis chapter 40. Let's start from the beginning again so you can hear it from. He always sounded off. I'm reading the Bible app with the Notebook brick in the King James Version, Old Testament. Let's hear it from scratch. I'm still eating food. So this video is recorded on a Saturday. And I prayed earlier for him, and the Lord add his rich blessing to the readers, hearers, and doers of his holy word. Just make pray, amen. I'll say it again for effect. But I'm working on breakfast. Physical food, holy and spiritual food. Let's continue from the beginning.
Genesis 40. And it came to pass, after these things, that the butler of the king of Egypt and his baker had offended their lord the king of Egypt. And Pharaoh was wroth against two of his officers, against the chief of the butlers and against the chief of the bakers. And he put them in ward in the house of the captain of the guard into the prison, the place where Joseph was bound. And the captain of the guard charged Joseph with them, and he served them. And they continued a season in ward. And they dreamed a dream, both of them, each man his dream in one night, each man according to the interpretation of his dream, the butler and the baker of the king of Egypt, which were bound in the prison. And Joseph came in unto them in the morning, and looked upon them, and behold, they were sad. And he asked Pharaoh's officers that were with him in the ward of his lord's house, saying, Wherefore look ye so sadly today? And they said unto him, We have dreamed a dream, and there is no interpreter of it. And Joseph said unto them, Do not interpretations belong to God? Tell me them, I pray you. And the chief butler told his dream to Joseph, and said to him, In my dream, behold, a vine was before me. And in the vine were 3 branches, and it was as though it budded, and her blossoms shot forth, and the clusters thereof brought forth ripe grapes. And Pharaoh's cup was in my hand, and I took the grapes, and pressed them into Pharaoh's cup, and I gave the cup into Pharaoh's hand. And Joseph said unto him, This is the interpretation of it. 3 branches are 3 days. Yet within 3 days shall Pharaoh lift up thine head, and restore thee unto thy place, and thou shalt deliver Pharaoh's cup into his hand, after the former manner when thou wast his butler. But think on me when it shall be well with thee, and show kindness, I pray thee, unto me, and make mention of me unto Pharaoh, and bring me out of this house.
Sounds familiar?
For indeed I was stolen away out of the land of the Hebrews, and here also have I done nothing that they should put me into the dungeon. When the chief baker saw that the interpretation was good, he said unto Joseph, I also was in my dream, and behold, I had 3 white baskets on my head, and in the uppermost basket there was of all manner of baked meats for Pharaoh, and the birds did eat them out of the basket upon my head. And Joseph answered and said, This is the interpretation thereof. The 3 baskets are 3 days. Yet within 3 days shall Pharaoh lift up thy head from off thee, and shall hang thee on a tree, and the birds shall eat thy flesh from off thee. And it came to pass, the third day, which was Pharaoh's birthday, that he made a feast unto all his servants. And he lifted up the head of the chief butler and of the chief baker among his servants. And he restored the chief butler unto his butlership again, and he gave the cup into Pharaoh's hand. But he hanged the chief baker, as Joseph had interpreted to them. Yet did not the chief butler remember Joseph, but forgat him.
Does not happen to many of us too? Someone forgets the good deed you did to them, but look at the interpretation came, and he said it came from God, not him. So he knew
Genesis
something.
41.
Let's see.
And it came to pass at the end of 2 full years,
God is working on something.
that Pharaoh dreamed, and behold, he stood by the river. And behold, there came up out of the river 7 well-favored kine and fat-fleshed, and they fed in a meadow. And behold, 7 other kine came up after them out of the river, ill-favored and lean-fleshed, and stood by the other kine upon the brink of the river. And the ill-favored and lean-fleshed kine did eat up the 7 well-favored and fat kine.
Kind of like a cow.
So Pharaoh awoke. And he slept and dreamed the second time, and behold, 7 ears of corn came up upon one stalk, rank and good. And behold, 7 thin ears, and blasted with the east wind sprung up after them. And the 7 thin ears devoured the 7 rank and full ears. And Pharaoh awoke, and behold, it was a dream. And it came to pass in the morning that his spirit was troubled, and he sent and called for all the magicians of Egypt, and all the wise men thereof. And Pharaoh told them his dream, but there was none that could interpret them unto Pharaoh. Then spake the chief butler unto Pharaoh, saying, I do remember my faults this day. Pharaoh was wroth with his servants, and put me in ward of the captain of the guard's house, both me and the chief baker. And we dreamed a dream in one night, I and he. We dreamed each man according to the interpretation of his dream. And there was there with us a young man, an Hebrew, servant to the captain of the guard. And we told him, and he interpreted to us our dreams. To each man according to his dream he did interpret. And it came to pass, as he interpreted to us, so it was. Me he restored unto mine office, and him he hanged. Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they brought him hastily out of the dungeon. And he shaved himself, and changed his raiment, and came in unto Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I have dreamed a dream, and there is none that can interpret it. And I have heard say of thee, that thou canst understand a dream to interpret it. And Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, It is not in me.
Beautiful.
God shall give Pharaoh an answer of peace.
Amen.
And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, In my dream, behold, I stood upon the bank of the river, and behold, there came up out of the river 7 kine, fat-fleshed, and well-favored,
Like cows.
and they fed in a meadow. And behold, 7 other kine came up after them, poor, and very ill-favored, and lean-fleshed, such as I never saw in all the land of Egypt for badness. And the lean and the ill-favored kine did eat up the first 7 fat kine. And when they had eaten them up, it could not be known that they had eaten them, but they were still ill-favored, as at the beginning. So I awoke. And I saw in my dream, and behold, 7 ears came up in one stalk, full and good. And behold, 7 ears withered, thin, and blasted with the east wind, sprung up after them. And the thin ears devoured the 7 good ears. And I told this unto the magicians, but there was none that could declare it to me.
Isn't that interesting how God is orchestrating things? And you know, they always have these fortune tellers, soothsayers, and magicians. They all know so much, right? The Dion works at the time. The people say, I know what it is. I can tell you. Fortune tellers, the witches, and all these warlocks, all these people who claim to have power. They can't do anything. They don't know the interpretation. They don't know. They know what it is. And Joseph humbly says, not me. It's not in me. I don't have that. I'm not an interpreter. You know, but Joseph, king of the dreams, or Joseph this. Like, don't give Joseph. Joseph is not asking any power, any clout. Joseph says, not me. It's God. He's the one that gives the dreams and interpretation. Like Daniel, it's not me. Remember they called Daniel Belteshazzar? The gods are in him. He said, not me. No. God gives you the interpreter and the answer, not me, O king. Humility. Joseph did it. I'm just looking at how God is putting it together. Look at the timing also. He asked the butler and the baker to remember him after they come out, after they released from prison. And 2 years elapsed between the time they remembered. 2 years. You imagine ask someone, hey, you remember me for this 2 years ago for a favor? You hear nothing back from them. Would you be upset? This has happened to me before, and other people say, hey, you remember me? Remember did this? Remember we did this together? And they never respond back on them. They're busy. 2 years, and it's like, wow. What do you do? How'd you feel? Would you get angry at God? You say, Lord, you keep bringing me up and cast me off, bring me up and cast me off, bring me up, cast me off. Good day here, next day I'm in trouble. I get a blessing, next minute I get sabotaged. Everything is going good, and I get saddled. And the emoji you see with the gasping, it's like, oh, it's exasperating. And yet he doesn't give up. Keeps his faith strong, like Joseph. Like Jesus. Doesn't give up. Keeps going. We had to learn from these people.
Joseph said unto Pharaoh, The dream of Pharaoh is one. God hath shown Pharaoh what he is about to do. The 7 good kine are 7 years, and the 7 good ears are 7 years. The dream is one. And the 7 thin and ill-favored kine that came up after them are 7 years, and the 7 empty ears blasted with the east wind shall be 7 years of famine. This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh. What God is about to do, he showeth unto Pharaoh. Behold, there come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt, and there shall arise after them 7 years of famine, and all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine shall consume the land, and the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of that famine following, for it shall be very grievous. And for that the dream was doubled unto Pharaoh twice. It is because the thing is established by God, and God will shortly bring it to pass. Now therefore let Pharaoh look out a man discreet and wise, and set him over the land of Egypt. Let Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint officers over the land, and take up the 5th part of the land of Egypt in the 7 plenteous years, and let them gather all the food of those good years that come, and lay up corn under the hand of Pharaoh, and let them keep food in the cities. And that food shall be for store to the land against the 7 years of famine, which shall be in the land of Egypt, that the land perish not through the famine. And the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh, and in the eyes of all his servants. And Pharaoh said unto his servants, Can we find such a one as this is, a man in whom the Spirit of God is?
We love to have that said about us. And Pharaoh to them was supposed to be a god himself, he's a god on earth, and yet he has to be subject and listen to what the God of heaven is speaking about. Gives him dreams and he can't understand it, and he says, wait a minute, I'm not the top guy, it's actually somebody higher than me. And he's one of many societies. There's other dynasties and other societies that think they're God on earth. Humanity trying to be God on earth, and God has to show them, no, I'm the one in charge of everything. I set you up, I take you down. Yeah, it's me. Not to do bad to us, but just let us know. We got to know our place. So, that's what happens. So, Pharaoh is telling you need help. And look, and sometimes, it's sometimes God tells us we have to prepare. When we have a lot, try to set aside something, put aside some stuff for a rainy day. They always hear, put aside a little savings, a little something for the economy. And as I was saying in the other video, that we're looking at now with the tariffs that are hitting China and other countries, America's levying against them, to try to get a fair trade balance. That some people now have used the money that they were making back then to just buy big, lavish homes and lots of spending, lots of stuff, lots of things. Not everybody, but some people are just blowing money like it's water. Now we have to account for it. Now you have to kind of tighten up, because now it's like the business dried up. Things are crashing, the economy is crashing. They got to get something fixed together. I believe something good will happen in the end. I'm hoping, but no guarantees of that. There are a lot of things that we don't see going on behind the scenes. And America has a big prophetic role to play in the Bible. So I really wonder if this is another settling in place of the order of how things happen. Because the lamb-like beast will speak as a dragon. So I'm always going to find out, how is America going to be set to be the top? Will it be America only, or will it be a group? Some other people told me to be a group of a congregation of conglomerate, really, of different countries, including America, China, Russia, and other parts. I don't know. But I know America has a role to play from what the Bible said. And we hear this through the prophetic writings of Ellen G. White, you know, in her book, The Great Controversy, and also in the books like Last Events. So America has a big role to play. Something is going to happen. Something's going to happen. I feel it is happening. It's happening already, and it's going to be very soon. So let's see where this goes. But we got to start planning for these big things to happen there. So when you see disaster, when you see everything going great and wonderful, start making preparation in case something goes wrong. Because, you know, things can always go wrong. Let's plan. So they're working on something.
And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, Forasmuch as God hath shown thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou art. Thou shalt be over my house, and according unto thy word shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than thou. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, See, I have set thee over all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand, and put it upon Joseph's hand, and arrayed him in vestures of fine linen, and put a gold chain about his neck. And he made him to ride in the second chariot which he had. And they cried before him, Bow the knee. And he made him ruler over all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without thee shall no man lift up his hand or foot in all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh called Joseph's name Zaphnath-Paneah, and he gave him to wife Asenath, the daughter of Potipharah, priest of On. And Joseph went out over all the land of Egypt. And Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh, king of Egypt. And Joseph went out from the presence of Pharaoh, and went throughout all the land of Egypt. And in the 7 plenteous years the earth brought forth by handfuls. And he gathered up all the food of the 7 years which were in the land of Egypt, and laid up the food in the cities, the food of the field, which was round about every city, laid he up in the same. And Joseph gathered corn, as the sand of the sea, very much, until he left numbering, for it was without number. And unto Joseph were born 2 sons before the years of famine came, which Asenath, the daughter of Potipharah, priest of On, bare unto him. And Joseph called the name of the firstborn Manasseh, for God, said he, hath made me forget all my toil, and all my father's house. And the name of the second called he Ephraim, for God hath caused me to be fruitful in the land of my affliction. And the 7 years of plenteousness that was in the land of Egypt were ended, and the 7 years of dearth began to come, according as Joseph had said. And the dearth was in all lands, but in all the land of Egypt there was bread. And when all the land of Egypt was famished, the people cried to Pharaoh for bread. And Pharaoh said unto all the Egyptians, Go unto Joseph, what he saith to you, do. And the famine was over all the face of the earth. And Joseph opened all the storehouses, and sold unto the Egyptians, and the famine waxed sore in the land of Egypt. And all countries came into Egypt to Joseph for to buy corn, because that the famine was so sore in all lands.
Could you imagine? So much stuff. So much stuff. And look how God is making preparations to save the world and save the people. There's more coming. That's amazing.
Genesis
amazing.
42. Now when Jacob saw that there was corn in Egypt, Jacob said unto his sons, Why do you look one upon another? And he said, Behold, I have heard that there is corn in Egypt. Get you down thither, and buy for us from thence, that we may live and not die. And Joseph's 10 brethren went down to buy corn in Egypt. But Benjamin, Joseph's brother, Jacob sent not with his brethren, for he said, Lest peradventure mischief befall him. And the sons of Israel came to buy corn among those that came, for the famine was in the land of Canaan. And Joseph was the governor over the land, and he it was that sold to all the people of the land. And Joseph's brethren came, and bowed down themselves before him with their faces to the earth. And Joseph saw his brethren, and he knew them, but made himself strange unto them, and spake roughly unto them. And he said unto them, Whence come ye? And they said, From the land of Canaan to buy food. And Joseph knew his brethren, but they knew not him. And Joseph remembered the dreams which he dreamed of them, and said unto them, Ye are spies, to see the nakedness of the land ye are come. And they said unto him, Nay, my lord, but to buy food are thy servants come. We are all one man's sons, we are true men, thy servants are no spies. And he said unto them, Nay, but to see the nakedness of the land ye are come. And they said, Thy servants are 12 brethren, the sons of one man in the land of Canaan. And behold, the youngest is this day with our father, and one is not. And Joseph said unto them, That is it that I spake unto you, saying, Ye are spies. Hereby ye shall be proved. By the life of Pharaoh ye shall not go forth hence, except your youngest brother come hither. Send one of you, and let him fetch your brother, and ye shall be kept in prison, that your words may be proved, whether there be any truth in you, or else by the life of Pharaoh surely ye are spies. And he put them all together into ward 3 days. And Joseph said unto them the 3rd day, This do and live, for I fear God. If ye be true men, let one of your brethren be bound in the house of your prison. Go ye, carry corn for the famine of your houses. But bring your youngest brother unto me. So shall your words be verified, and ye shall not die. And they did so. And they said one to another, We are verily guilty concerning our brother, in that we saw the anguish of his soul when he besought us, and we would not hear. Therefore is this distress come upon us. And Reuben answered them, saying, Spake I not unto you, saying, Do not sin against the child? And ye would not hear. Therefore, behold, also his blood is required. And they knew not that Joseph understood them, for he spake unto them by an interpreter. And he turned himself about from them, and wept, and returned to them again, and communed with them, and took from them Simeon, and bound him before their eyes. Then Joseph commanded to fill their sacks with corn, and to restore every man's money into his sack, and to give them provision for the way. And thus did he unto them. And they laded their asses with the corn, and departed thence. And as one of them opened his sack, to give his ass provender in the inn, he espied his money, for behold, it was in his sack's mouth. And he said unto his brethren, My money is restored, and lo, it is even in my sack. And their heart failed them, and they were afraid, saying one to another, What is this that God hath done unto us? And they came unto Jacob their father unto the land of Canaan, and told him all that befell unto them, saying, The man who is the Lord of the land spake roughly to us, and took us for spies of the country. And we said unto him, We are true men, we are no spies. We be 12 brethren, sons of our father, one is not, and the youngest is this day with our father in the land of Canaan. And the man, the Lord of the country, said unto us, Hereby shall I know that ye are true men. Leave one of your brethren here with me, and take food for the famine of your households, and be gone. And bring your youngest brother unto me. Then shall I know that ye are no spies, but that ye are true men. So will I deliver you your brother, and ye shall traffic in the land. And it came to pass, as they emptied their sacks, that behold, every man's bundle of money was in his sack. And when both they and their father saw the bundles of money, they were afraid. And Jacob their father said unto them, Me have ye bereaved my children. Joseph is not, and Simeon is not, and ye will take Benjamin away? All these things are against me. And Reuben spake unto his father, saying, Slay my 2 sons, if I bring him not to thee. Deliver him into my hand, and I will bring him to thee again. And he said, My son shall not go down with you, for his brother is dead, and he is left alone. If mischief befall him by the way, in the which ye go, then shall ye bring down my gray hairs with sorrow to the grave.
Now, look at who's speaking. This is Simeon, and this is Reuben. Simeon is in prison. Reuben is the older brother, speaking up. Yet in the movies they keep putting Judas as the one. Why they keep doing that? They keep trying to change the story, but listen to the story there. So he's like, they don't fully understand the full details of the story. Yeah, excuse me. Something is happening. We can look on the outside and say, I know the movie, I know the story, I see what's happening. Put yourself in that place to live through picture it in your minds. We were to go there and live in a land where they have no social media, no TV, none of those things there. We have to have these communications. We have to figure out how life is going to be, what's going to happen. And we don't know for certain what will be. We're just taking it on faith. Did it come back to their minds about the dream? But they still had a conscience to say that what we did, I think it's coming back to us. We've been punished by God for what we did. We did something wrong. They had that, maybe they changed their character. Maybe they had a real hard heart and said, listen, what have we done? We didn't get the full detail of this, but I guess Ellen G. White gave some more detail into what happened to them back then. Because they've changed a bit. But Joseph had to test them a little bit more. Let's see if they're telling the truth. Had to test them. That's Genesis 42, going to go to 43. Benjamin sent into Egypt now.
Genesis 43. And the famine was sore in the land. And it came to pass, when they had eaten up the corn which they had brought out of Egypt, their father said unto them, Go again, buy us a little food. And Judah spake unto him, saying, The man did solemnly protest unto us, saying, Ye shall not see my face, except your brother be with you. If thou wilt send our brother with us, we will go down and buy thee food. But if thou wilt not send him, we will not go down. For the man said unto us, Ye shall not see my face, except your brother be with you. And Israel said, Wherefore dealt ye so ill with me, as to tell the man whether ye had yet a brother? And they said, The man asked us straitly of our state, and of our kindred, saying, Is your father yet alive? Have ye another brother? And we told him according to the tenor of these words. Could we certainly know that he would say, Bring your brother down?
Interesting dialogue.
And Judah said unto Israel his father, Send the lad with me, and we will arise and go, that we may live and not die, both we and thou, and also our little ones. I will be surety for him. Of my hand shalt thou require him. If I bring him not unto thee, and set him before thee, then let me bear the blame forever. For except we had lingered, surely now we had returned this second time. And their father Israel said unto them, If it must be so now, do this. Take of the best fruits in the land in your vessels, and carry down the man a present, a little balm, and a little honey, spices, and myrrh, nuts, and almonds. And take double money in your hand, and the money that was brought again in the mouth of your sacks, carry it again in your hand. Peradventure, it was an oversight. Take also your brother, and arise. Go again.
That's a good dad to tell him, hey, take the money that was sent back to you, just in case he might be by accident. Not oversight, just in case they didn't see the money and they said, oh, you didn't pay. So he doesn't want nothing for free. He doesn't want to rob and defraud anybody. Good parenting. I wish all parents were like that. Teach the kids the difference of right and wrong. Teach them not to take what doesn't belong to them. Teach them to obey by the 10 Commandments, not to defraud or covet. Take what doesn't belong to them. But have better outcomes. Instead of some of the broods of vipers we have today. Some wicked people have no care or concern for anybody else or any life except their own belly. I'm eating right. Yeah, but I'm just saying, there are people out there who really care about nobody else but themselves. Very selfish. Me. So I say in the word sin, the I is in the middle of the word. S-I-N. Not worried about themselves and their bellies. They care less with anybody else. But they have to make a tough decision here. Let the whole camp, the whole company perish from famine and lack of hunger, or take a chance in faith and go down and see what's this strange occurrence. Here's the thing. If you keep them back there, they can all die. If they go down there and they know Egypt has the food and the sustenance that God has provided them to have, there's a chance they might live. So they got to take it on faith, be willing to risk that young life again, the last one there, because Simeon could be gone, the youngest one could be gone. You see Joseph, Joseph is only missing in their eyes, and Jacob is having his thought, it's like, my kids keep getting taken from me, my boys have been missing all the time. What's going on? It's like, they keep taking my child on one from one. It's like, oh man, I'm paying a price here. But he also I believe he also has some faith to think that something is uniquely happening here. I remember some stories. I think he's going over some stuff here. So let's see what happens. God is working on him. So he's gonna go and see. Let's see. So, the story is very interesting. I like it.
Again unto the man. And God Almighty give you mercy before the man, that he may send away your other brother and Benjamin. If I be bereaved of my children, I am bereaved. And the men took that present, and they took double money in their hand, and Benjamin, and rose up, and went down to Egypt, and stood before Joseph. And when Joseph saw Benjamin with them, he said to the ruler of his house, Bring these men home, and slay, and make ready, for these men shall dine with me at noon. And the man did as Joseph bade, and the man brought the men into Joseph's house. And the men were afraid, because they were brought into Joseph's house. And they said, Because of the money that was returned in our sacks at the first time are we brought in, that he may seek occasion against us, and fall upon us, and take us for bondmen and our asses. And they came near to the steward of Joseph's house, and they communed with him at the door of the house, and said, O sir, we came indeed down at the first time to buy food, and it came to pass, when we came to the inn, that we opened our sacks, and behold, every man's money was in the mouth of his sack, our money in full weight. And we have brought it again in our hand, and other money have we brought down in our hands to buy food. We cannot tell who put our money in our sacks. And he said, Peace be to you, fear not. Your God, and the God of your father, hath given you treasure in your sacks.
Amazing.
I had your money.
Amazing.
And he brought Simeon out unto them. And the man brought the men into Joseph's house, and gave them water, and they washed their feet, and he gave their asses provender. And they made ready the present against Joseph came at noon, for they heard that they should eat bread there. And when Joseph came home, they brought him the present which was in their hand into the house, and bowed themselves to him to the earth.
It's always good to bring a gift.
And he asked them of their welfare, and said, Is your father well? The old man of whom ye spake, is he yet alive? And they answered, Thy servant our father is in good health, he is yet alive. And they bowed down their heads, and made obeisance. And he lifted up his eyes, and saw his brother Benjamin, his mother's son, and said, Is this your younger brother, of whom ye spake unto me? And he said, God be gracious unto thee, my son. And Joseph made haste, for his bowels did yearn upon his brother. And he sought where to weep. And he entered into his chamber, and wept there.
That was the only one from Rachel.
And he washed his face, and went out, and refrained himself, and said, Set on bread.
Their mother died.
And they set on for him by himself, and for them by themselves, and for the Egyptians which did eat with him by themselves, because the Egyptians might not eat bread with the Hebrews, for that is an abomination unto the Egyptians.
You hear that? Interesting.
And they
right?
sat before him, the firstborn according to his birthright, and the youngest according to his youth. And the men marveled one at another. And he took and sent messes unto them from before him. But Benjamin's mess was 5 times so much as any of theirs. And they drank, and were merry with him.
I was still looking over the part where he said about, that they don't sit together. The Egyptians and Hebrews don't sit together. Even back then they had separation.
Genesis 44.
Interesting.
And he commanded the steward of his house, saying, Fill the men's sacks with food, as much as they can carry, and put every man's money in his sack's mouth. And put my cup, the silver cup, in the sack's mouth of the youngest, and his corn money. And he did according to the word that Joseph had spoken.
Test him.
As soon as the morning was light, the men were sent away, they and their asses. And when they were gone out of the city, and not yet far off, Joseph said unto his steward, Up, follow after the men, and when thou dost overtake them, say unto them, Wherefore have ye rewarded evil for good?
He's going to test him again. I'm going to pause it here. I want to get me some more food, something cooler, because it's hot. He's like 90 degrees plus. It's humid, it's hot around. We put some more pool shock into the water. That's why he's starting to change color from the dark green. Now he's getting a little more wider and clearer. Let's see if he clears up a little bit. Okay? A little bit. We're trying some more stuff here, because you have some wonderful advice. So let me go get some food, some ice cream, something ice cold smoothie to soothe the spot because I'm hot. Wait me 1 second, okay? God bless. But you see these stories? You see how these stories are important? And you think, I need to say, you know, they'd be like, why is he asking about this? Why is this asking about this, the old man and his father? And again, Joseph and Benjamin were from the same mother, Rachel, that died in childbirth. She died in childbirth giving birth to Benjamin, the last one. So they missed their mother. You know, this is it's very relatable. You know, miss the mom. It's like it's one thing you see. The other brothers are born to different to the other handmaids and say concubines and the other. You know, the other ones are born from the other ones are like the other 10 of them are from Leah that side, and the other people there, and the other Leah and their servants. And it's like so. This is like his real close brothers. Like his brothers, my mother and I, your mother. It's like that was like a unit. That's why it's not good to have multiple wives also. It causes problems with the kids and the whole family. It's like, oh, it's a mess. You know? Well, multiple husbands in some societies, it's just as bad. One, keep it simple. Be right back. Okay, all right. We got some nice cold smoothies. Like, Yeti. Ice cold. We had like we make smoothies like strawberry, banana, walnuts, oat milk, and some other stuff in there. And honey, we had it there. And it's like, for a hot day like this, it'll cool me off. So I'm out full of food, forgive me. I need something cool when it's hot to kind of keep me off. You know, some people eat ice cream. Ice cream has a lot of sugar, so I don't think it really helps as much unless it's some kind of thing that breaks the heat. But sometimes it makes you cool. But if it's cool, it makes you thirsty, and the heat makes the sugar is broken and it makes you make more sweet. Then it's like it makes you hotter. So, but I rather have ice and frost and water and more water-based stuff. You know. My seat fell. So let's continue the reading and see what's happened. This interesting story. Joseph is going to test them now. Because now he's like, they want to see, do they really love his brother? Have they changed? Have they become good characters? Have they become good men? Have they learned to be better now? And after all they've been doing, it's like how they've treated him. Do they remember him? Because they keep saying he's not like he's not alive anymore. And he's talking to them. But in their eyes, they may be thinking he's not alive anymore. They don't know what happened. They sold him as a slave. And slaves, you don't last long in some parts. They get you to work you to death and you die to get another slave, you know? So it's like, they're probably saying, what have we done to our own brothers? Just because it's, what because it's from a different mother and because they were jealous of him. Why they did that. So now there's a family reunion coming. Something's happening here. There's a reason why God put all this together. Let's see. Let's see. Genesis 40.
Is not this it in which my Lord drinketh, and whereby indeed he divineth?
Test him.
Ye have done evil in so doing. And he overtook them, and he spake unto them these same
44.
words. And they said unto him, Wherefore saith my Lord these words? God forbid that thy servants should do according to this thing. Behold, the money which we found in our sacks' mouths, we brought again unto thee out of the land of Canaan. How then should we steal out of thy Lord's house silver or gold? With whomsoever of thy servants it be found, both let him die, and we also will be my Lord's bondman. And he said, Now also let it be according unto your words. He with whom it is found shall be my servant, and ye shall be blameless. Then they speedily took down every man his sack to the ground, and opened every man his sack. And he searched, and began at the eldest, and left at the youngest. And the cup was found in Benjamin's sack.
Oh boy.
Then they rent their clothes, and laded every man his ass, and returned to the city. And Judah and his brethren came to Joseph's house, for he was yet there. And they fell before him on the ground. And Joseph said unto them, What deed is this that ye have done? Wot ye not that such a man as I can certainly divine? And Judah said, What shall we say unto my Lord? What shall we speak? Or how shall we clear ourselves? God hath found out the iniquity of thy servants. Behold, we are my Lord's servants, both we and he also with whom the cup is found. And he said, God forbid that I should do so. But the man in whose hand the cup is found, he shall be my servant. And as for you, get you up in peace unto your father. Then Judah came near unto him and said, O my Lord, let thy servant, I pray thee, speak a word in my Lord's ears, and let not thine anger burn against thy servant, for thou art even as Pharaoh. My Lord asked his servants, saying, have ye a father or a brother? And we said unto my lord, We have a father, an old man, and a child of his old age, a little one. And his brother is dead, and he alone is left of his mother, and his father loveth him. And thou saidst unto thy servants, Bring him down unto me, that I may set mine eyes upon him. And we said unto my lord, The lad cannot leave his father, for if he should leave his father would die. And thou saidst unto thy servants, Except your youngest brother come down with you, ye shall see my face no more. And it came to pass, when we came up unto thy servant my father, we told him the words of my lord. And our father said, Go again, and buy us a little food. And we said, We cannot go down. If our youngest brother be with us, then we will go down. For we may not see the man's face, except our youngest brother be with us. And thy servant my father said unto us, Ye know that my wife bare me 2 sons, and the one went out from me, and I said, Surely he is torn in pieces, and I saw him not since. And if ye take this also from me, and mischief before him, ye shall bring down my gray hairs with sorrow to the grave. Now therefore, when I come to thy servant my father, and the lad be not with us, seeing that his life is bound up in the lad's life, it shall come to pass, when he seeth that the lad is not with us, that he will die, and thy servants shall bring down the gray hairs of thy servant our father with sorrow to the grave. For thy servant became surety for the lad unto my father, saying, If I bring him not unto thee, then I shall bear the blame to my father forever. Now therefore, I pray thee, let thy servant abide instead of the lad, a bondman to my lord, and let the lad go up with his brethren. For how shall I go up to my father, and the lad be not with me, lest peradventure I see the evil that shall come on my father?
Sound like there's been a change of heart. They've been good. They've changed. Willing to take the burden. Let's see.
Genesis 45. Then Joseph could not refrain himself before all them that stood by him. And he cried, Cause every man to go out from me. And there stood no man with him, while Joseph made himself known unto his brethren. And he wept aloud. And the Egyptians in the house of Pharaoh heard. And Joseph said unto his brethren, I am Joseph. Doth my father yet live? And his brethren could not answer him, for they were troubled at his presence. And Joseph said unto his brethren, Come near to me, I pray you. And they came near, and he said, I am Joseph your brother, whom ye sold into Egypt.
Amazing.
Now therefore be not grieved, nor angry with yourselves, that ye sold me hither, for God did send me before you to preserve life.
Interesting.
For these 2 years hath the famine been in the land, and yet there are 5 years, in the which there shall neither be earing nor harvest.
Interesting.
And God sent me before you to preserve you a posterity in the earth, and to save your lives by a great deliverance. So now it was not you that sent me hither, but God. And he hath made me a father to Pharaoh, and lord of all his house, and a ruler throughout all the land of Egypt. Haste ye, and go up to my father, and say unto him, Thus saith thy son Joseph, God hath made me lord of all Egypt. Come down unto me, tarry not.
Wow.
And thou shalt dwell in the land of Goshen.
Goshen,
And thou shalt be near unto me, thou and thy children, and thy children's children, and thy flocks and thy herds, and all that thou hast. And there will I nourish thee. For yet there are 5 years of famine, lest thou and thy household, and all that thou hast, come to poverty. And behold, your eyes see, in the eyes of my brother Benjamin, that it is my mouth that speaketh unto you. And ye shall tell my father of all my glory in Egypt, and of all that ye have seen. And ye shall haste and bring down my father hither. And he fell upon his brother Benjamin's neck, and wept. And Benjamin wept upon his neck. Moreover, he kissed all his brethren, and wept upon them. And after that his brethren talked with him. And the fame thereof was heard in Pharaoh's house, saying, Joseph's brethren are come. And it pleased Pharaoh well and his servants. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, Say unto thy brethren, This do ye, lade your beasts, and go, get you unto the land of Canaan. And take your father and your households, and come unto me, and I will give you the good of the land of Egypt, and ye shall eat the fat of the land. Now thou art commanded, this do ye. Take you wagons out of the land of Egypt, for your little ones, and for your wives, and bring your father, and come. Also regard not your stuff, for the good of all the land of Egypt is yours.
That is beautiful.
And the children of Israel did so. And Joseph gave them wagons according to the commandment of Pharaoh, and gave them provision for the way. To all of them he gave each man changes of raiment, but to Benjamin he gave 300 pieces of silver,
Wow.
and 5 changes of raiment. And to his father he sent after this manner 10 asses laden with the good things of Egypt, and 10 she-asses laden with corn and bread and meat for his father by the way.
Wow.
So he sent his brethren away, and they departed. And he said unto them, See that ye fall not out by the way.
Don't get into trouble
And they
again.
went up out of Egypt, and came into the land of Canaan unto Jacob their father, and told him, saying, Joseph is yet alive,
Wow.
and he is governor over all the land of Egypt. And Jacob's heart fainted, for he believed them not.
Oh, dang.
And they told him all the words of Joseph, which he had said unto them. And when he saw the wagons which Joseph had sent to carry him, the spirit of Jacob their father revived.
Wow.
And Israel said, It is enough. Joseph my son is yet alive. I will go and see him before I die.
Could you imagine such a surprise? After all of that, what a surprise. And that's amazing. God bless. These stories, we need these stories.
Genesis
There's hope.
46. And Israel took his journey with all that he had, and came to Beersheba, and offered sacrifices unto the God of his father Isaac. And God spake unto Israel in the visions of the night, and said, Jacob, Jacob. And he said, Here am I. And he said, I am God, the God of thy father. Fear not to go down into Egypt, for I will there make of thee a great nation.
Listen to this
I
prophecy.
will go down with thee into Egypt, and I will also surely bring thee up again, and Joseph shall put his hand upon thine eyes. And Jacob rose up from Beersheba, and the sons of Israel carried Jacob their father, and their little ones, and their wives, in the wagons which Pharaoh had sent to carry him. And they took their cattle and their goods which they had gotten in the land of Canaan, and came into Egypt, Jacob and all his seed with him, his sons, and his sons' sons with him, his daughters, and his sons' daughters, and all his seed brought he with him into Egypt. And these are the names of the children of Israel, which came into Egypt, Jacob and his sons, Reuben, Jacob's firstborn, and the sons of Reuben, Hanok and Phalu, and Hezron and Carmi, and the sons of Simeon, Jemuel, and Jamin, and Ohad, and Jachin, and Zohar, and Shaul the son of a Canaanitish woman, and the sons of Levi, Gershon, Kohath, and Merari, and the sons of Judah, Er, and Onan, and Shelah, and Pharez, and Zerah. But Er and Onan died in the land of Canaan. And the sons of Pharez were Hezron and Hamul. And the sons of Issachar, Tola, and Phuvah, and Job, and Shimron. And the sons of Zebulun, Sered, and Elon, and Jaleel. These be the sons of Leah, which she bare unto Jacob in Padan Aram, with his daughter Dinah. All the souls of his sons and his daughters were 33. And the sons of Gad, Ziphion, and Haggai, Shunai, and Esbon, Eri, and Aradai, and Aralai.
For archaeology.
And the sons of Asher, Jimnah, and Ishua, and Isui, and Beriah, and Sarah their sister. And the sons of Beriah, Heber, and Malchiel. These are the sons of Zilpah, whom Laban gave to Leah his daughter. And these she bare unto Jacob, even 16 souls. The sons of Rachel, Jacob's wife, Joseph and Benjamin. And unto Joseph in the land of Egypt were born Manasseh and Ephraim, which Asenath, the daughter of Potipharah, priest of On, bare unto him. And the sons of Benjamin were Bela, and Becher, and Ashbel, Gera, and Naaman, Ehi, and Rosh, Mupim, and Hupim, and Ard.
Interesting names.
These are the sons of Rachel which were born to Jacob, all the souls were 14. And the sons of Dan, Hushim. And the sons of Naphtali, Jaziel, and Gunai, and Jezer, and Shillem. These are the sons of Bilhah, which Laban gave unto Rachel his daughter, and she bare these unto Jacob. All the souls were 7.
Do you notice
All the souls that came with Jacob into Egypt, which came...
You notice they call them all the souls, right? Remember? And God breathed into the nostril of man, and man became a living soul. So, like how they say, how many souls on board a ship or a boat or a plane? You've heard it when we said before. So we don't have a soul inside of us that comes out and moves around above the body. The body alive is called a living soul. Okay, this is something I'm throwing out there. The body is a soul. So all the souls that were there, all the people that are there, when we cease to exist, that's it. The soul is gone. So there's no soul. I say that now because there's going to be a lot of teachers and false people giving false messages from the Bible saying, the soul travel the world and looking for rest in the spirit. The soul is unrest. Like, some people, like even some of the Kung Fu movies I watch, the soul wanders until it finds peace for its soul. The soul is around the place. I'm like, what soul? The body's dead already. What are you talking about? We need to know the truth. Truth will set us free. Mankind that has breath in his nostril, male or female, and alive is called a living soul. Okay? No one out there, no secret entity inside.
Came out of his loins, besides Jacob's sons' wives. All the souls were 66. And the sons of Joseph, which were born him in Egypt, were 2 souls. All the souls of the house of Jacob, which came into Egypt, were 10.
That's 30.
And he sent Judah
No, that's
before
70.
him unto Joseph to direct his face unto Goshen. And they came into the land of Goshen. And Joseph made ready his chariot, and went up to meet Israel his father to Goshen, and presented himself unto him. And he fell on his neck, and wept on his neck a good
What
while.
a history. How long?
And Israel said unto Joseph, Now let me die, since I have seen thy face, because thou art yet alive. And Joseph said unto his brethren, and unto his father's house, I will go up and show Pharaoh, and say unto him, My brethren, and my father's house, which were in the land of Canaan, are come unto me. And the men are shepherds, for their trade hath been to feed cattle, and they have brought their flocks, and their herds, and all that they have. And it shall come to pass, when Pharaoh shall call you, and shall say, What is your occupation? That ye shall say, Thy servant's trade hath been about cattle from our youth, even until now, both we and also our fathers, that ye may dwell in the land of Goshen. For every shepherd is an abomination unto the Egyptians.
That every shepherd is an abomination unto Egypt. They didn't like the idea of working out in the field. So there's an interesting history in Egypt. That's why they were left outside. So let's see
Genesis
what happens
47. Then Joseph came and told Pharaoh, and said, My father and my brethren, and their flocks, and their herds, and all that they have, are come out of the land of Canaan, and behold, they are in the land of Goshen. And he took some of his brethren, even 5 men, and presented them unto Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said unto his brethren, What is your occupation? And they said unto Pharaoh, Thy servants are shepherds, both we and also our fathers. They said moreover unto Pharaoh,
Answer trying to
For
get
to
me.
sojourn in the land are we come, for thy servants have no pasture for their flocks, for the famine is sore in the land of Canaan. Now therefore we pray thee, let thy servants dwell in the land of Goshen. And Pharaoh spake unto Joseph, saying, Thy father and thy brethren are come unto thee. The land of Egypt is before thee. In the best of the land make thy father and brethren to dwell. In the land of Goshen let them dwell. And if thou knowest any men of activity among them, then make them rulers over my cattle.
Nice.
And Joseph brought in Jacob his father, and set him before Pharaoh. And Jacob blessed Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said unto Jacob, How old art thou? And Jacob said unto Pharaoh, The days of the years of my pilgrimage are 130 years.
Wow.
Few and evil have the days of the years of my life been, and have not attained unto the days of the years of the life of my fathers in the days of their pilgrimage. And Jacob blessed Pharaoh, and went out from before Pharaoh.
110
And Joseph
years.
placed his father and his brethren, and gave them a possession in the land of Egypt, in the best of the land, in the land of Ramses, as Pharaoh had commanded.
Ramses.
And Joseph nourished his father and his
Land of
brethren,
Ramses.
and all his father's household, with bread according to their families. And there was no bread in all the land, For the famine was very sore, so that the land of Egypt and all the land of Canaan fainted by reason of the famine. And Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, for the corn which they bought. And Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house. And when money failed in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came unto Joseph, and said, Give us bread, for why should we die in thy presence? For the money faileth. And Joseph said, Give your cattle, and I will give you for your cattle if money fail. And they brought their cattle unto Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for horses, and for the flocks, and for the cattle of the herds, and for the asses. And he fed them with bread for all their cattle for that year. When that year was ended, they came unto him the second year, and said unto him, We will not hide it from my lord, how that our money is spent. My lord also hath our herds of cattle. There is not aught left in the sight of my lord, but our bodies and our lands. Wherefore shall we die before thine eyes, both we and our land? Buy us now land for bread, and we and our land will be servants unto Pharaoh, and give us seed, that we may live and not die, that the land be not desolate. And Joseph bought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh. For the Egyptians sold every man his field, because the famine prevailed over them. So the land became Pharaoh's. And as for the people, he removed them to cities from one end of the borders of Egypt even to the other end thereof. Only the land of the priests bought he not, for the priests had a portion assigned them of Pharaoh, and did eat their portion which Pharaoh gave them, wherefore they sold not their lands. Then Joseph said unto the people, Behold, I have bought you this day and your land for Pharaoh. Lo, here is seed for you, and ye shall sow the land. And it shall come to pass in the increase, that ye shall give the 5th part unto Pharaoh, and 4 parts shall be your own, for seed of the field, and for your food, and for them of your households, and for food for your little ones. And they said, Thou hast saved our lives. Let us find grace in the sight of my lord, and we will be Pharaoh's servants.
Interesting.
And Joseph made it a law over the land of Egypt unto this day, that Pharaoh should have the 5th part, except the land of the priests only, which became not Pharaoh's. And Israel dwelt in the land of Egypt, in the country of Goshen. And they had possessions therein, and grew and multiplied exceedingly. And Jacob lived in the land of Egypt 17 years. So the whole age of Jacob was 147 years. And the time drew nigh that Israel must die. And he called his son Joseph, and said unto him, If now I have found grace in thy sight, put, I pray thee, thy hand under my thigh, and deal kindly and truly with me. Bury me not, I pray thee, in Egypt, but I will lie with my fathers, and thou shalt carry me out of Egypt, and bury me in their burying place. Then he said, I will do as thou hast said. And he said, Swear unto me. And he sware unto him. And Israel bowed himself upon the bed's head.
That's an interesting oath they take. Interesting.
Genesis 48. And it came to pass after these things, that one told Joseph, Behold, thy father is sick. And he took with him his 2 sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. And one told Jacob, and said, Behold, thy son Joseph cometh unto thee. And Israel strengthened himself, and sat upon the bed. And Jacob said unto Joseph, God Almighty appeared unto me at Luz in the land of Canaan, and blessed me, and said unto me, Behold, I will make thee fruitful, and multiply thee, and I will make of thee a multitude of people, and will give this land to thy seed after thee for an everlasting possession. And now thy 2 sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, which were born unto thee in the land of Egypt, before I came unto thee into Egypt, are mine. As Reuben and Simeon, they shall be mine. And thy issue which thou begettest after them shall be thine, and shall be called after the name of their brethren in their inheritance. And as for me, when I came from Padan, Rachel died by me in the land of Canaan in the way, when yet there was but a little way to come unto Ephrath. And I buried her there in the way of Ephrath, the same as Bethlehem. And Israel beheld Joseph's sons, and said, Who are these? And Joseph said unto his father, They are my sons, whom God hath given me in this place. And he said, Bring them, I pray thee, unto me, and I will bless them. Now the eyes of Israel were dim for age, so that he could not see. And he brought them near unto him, and he kissed them, and embraced them. And Israel said unto Joseph, I had not thought to see thy face, and lo, God hath shown me also thy seed. And Joseph brought them out from between his knees, and he bowed himself with his face to the earth. And Joseph took them both, Ephraim in his right hand toward Israel's left hand, and Manasseh in his left hand toward Israel's right hand, and brought them near unto him. And Israel stretched out his right hand, and laid it upon Ephraim's head, who was the younger, and his left hand upon Manasseh's head, guiding his hands wittingly, for Manasseh was the firstborn. And he blessed Joseph, and said, God, before whom my fathers Abraham and Isaac did walk, the God which fed me all my life long unto this day, the angel which redeemed me from all evil, bless the lads, and let my name be named on them, and the name of my fathers Abraham and Isaac, and let them grow into a multitude in the midst of the earth. And when Joseph saw that his father laid his right hand upon the head of Ephraim, it displeased him, and he held up his father's hand to remove it from Ephraim's head unto Manasseh's head. And Joseph said unto his father, Not so, my father, for this is the firstborn. Put thy right hand upon his head. And his father refused, and said, I know it, my son, I know it. He also shall become a people, and he also shall be great. But truly his younger brother shall be greater than he, and his seed shall become a multitude of nations.
Prophetic.
And he blessed them that day, saying, In thee shall Israel bless, saying, God make thee as Ephraim and as Manasseh. And he set Ephraim before Manasseh. And Israel said unto Joseph, Behold, I die, but God shall be with you, and bring you again unto the land of your fathers. Moreover, I have given to thee one portion above thy brethren, which I took out of the hand of the Amorite with my sword and with my bow.
Wow, what a father's blessing. Look at this. This is touching.
Genesis 49. And Jacob called unto his sons, and said, Gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Gather yourselves together, and hear, ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father. Reuben, thou art my firstborn, my might, and the beginning of my strength, the excellency of dignity, and the excellency of power. Unstable as water, thou shalt not excel, because thou wentest up to thy father's bed. Then devilest thou it. He went up to my couch. Simeon and Levi are brethren. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitations. O my soul, come not thou into their secret, unto their assembly. Mine honor, be not thou united. For in their anger they slew a man, and in their self-will they digged down a wall. Cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel. I will divide them in Jacob, and scatter them in Israel. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down. He couched as a lion. And as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come. And unto him shall the gathering of the people be. Binding his foal unto the vine, and his ass's colt unto the choice vine. He washed his garments in wine, and his clothes in the blood of grapes. His eyes shall be red with wine, and his teeth white with milk. Zebulun shall dwell at the haven of the sea, and he shall be for an haven of ships, and his border shall be unto Zidon. Issachar is a strong ass couching down between two burdens, and he saw that rest was good, and the land that it was pleasant, and bowed his shoulder to bear, and became a servant unto tribute. Dan shall judge his people, as one of the tribes of Israel. Dan shall be a serpent by the way, an adder in the path, that biteth the horse heels, so that his rider shall fall backward. I have waited for thy salvation, O Lord. Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. Out of Asher his bread shall be fat, and he shall yield royal dainties. Naphtali is a hind let loose, he giveth goodly words. Joseph is a fruitful bough, even a fruitful bough by a well, whose branches run over the wall. The archers have sorely grieved him, and shot at him, and hated him. But his bow abode in strength, and the arms of his hands were made strong by the hands of the mighty God of Jacob. From thence is the shepherd, the stone of Israel. Even by the God of thy father, who shall help thee, and by the Almighty, who shall bless thee with blessings of heaven above, blessings of the deep that lieth under, blessings of the breasts, and of the womb. The blessings of thy father have prevailed above the blessings of my progenitors, unto the utmost bound of the everlasting hills. They shall be on the head of Joseph, and on the crown of the head of him that was separate from his brethren.
Interesting.
Benjamin shall raven as a wolf. In the morning he shall devour the prey, and at night he shall divide the spoil. All these are the 12 tribes of Israel. And this is it that their father spake unto them, and blessed them, every one according to his blessing. He blessed them.
Imagine.
And he charged them, and said unto them, I am to be gathered unto my people. Bury me with my fathers in the cave that is in the field of Ephron the Hittite, in the cave that is in the field of Machpelah, which is before Mamre, in the land of Canaan, which Abraham bought with the field of Ephron the Hittite, for a possession of a burying place. There they buried Abraham and Sarah his wife. There they buried Isaac and Rebekah his wife, and there I buried Leah. The purchase of the field and of the cave that is therein was from the children of Heth. And when Jacob had made an end of commanding his sons, he gathered up his feet into the bed, and yielded up the ghost, and was gathered unto his people.
Wow. I've got tears in my eyes. That's amazing to hear how those blessings. These people know when they're going to die. They know what. How do they know?
Genesis 50. And Joseph fell upon his father's face, and wept upon him, and kissed him. And Joseph commanded his servants, the physicians, to embalm his father, and the physicians embalmed Israel. And 40 days were fulfilled for him, for so are fulfilled the days of those which are embalmed. And the Egyptians mourned for him 10 days.
70 days.
And when the days of his mourning were past, Joseph spake unto the house of Pharaoh, saying, If now I have found grace in your eyes, speak, I pray you, in the ears of Pharaoh, saying, My father made me swear, saying, Lo, I die, in my grave which I have digged for me in the land of Canaan. There shalt thou bury me. Now therefore let me go up, I pray thee, and bury my father, and I will come again. And Pharaoh said, Go up, and bury thy father, according as he made thee swear. And Joseph went up to bury his father, and with him went up all the servants of Pharaoh, the elders of his house, and all the elders of the land of Egypt, and all the house of Joseph, and his brethren, and his father's house. Only their little ones, and their flocks, and their herds, they left in the land of Goshen. And there went up with him both chariots and horsemen, and it was a very great company. And they came to the threshing floor of Atad, which is beyond Jordan, and there they mourned with a great and very sore lamentation. And he made a mourning for his father 7 days. And when the inhabitants of the land, the Canaanites, saw the mourning in the floor of Atad, they said, This is a grievous mourning to the Egyptians. Wherefore the name of it was called Abel Mizraim, which is beyond Jordan. And his sons did unto him according as he commanded them. For his sons carried him into the land of Canaan, and buried him in the cave of the field of Machpelah, which Abraham bought with the field for possession of a burying place of Ephron the Hittite before Mamre. And Joseph returned into Egypt, he and his brethren, and all that went up with him to bury his father, after he had buried his father. And when Joseph's brethren saw that their father was dead, they said, Joseph will peradventure hate us, and will certainly requite us all the evil which we did unto him. And they sent a messenger unto Joseph, saying, Thy father did command before he died, saying, So shall ye say unto Joseph, Forgive, I pray thee now, the trespass of thy brethren, and their sin. For they did unto thee evil, and now we pray thee, forgive the trespass of the servants of the God of thy father. And Joseph wept when they spake unto him. And his brethren also went and fell down before his face, and they said, Behold, we be thy servants. And Joseph said unto them, Fear not, for am I in the place of God?
Well said.
But as for you, ye thought evil against me, but God meant it unto good, to bring to pass, as it is this day, to save much people alive. Now therefore fear ye not, I will nourish you, and your little ones. And he comforted them, and spake kindly unto them.
God bless.
And Joseph dwelt in Egypt, he and his father's house. And Joseph lived 110 years.
Wow.
And Joseph saw Ephraim's children of the third generation. The children also of Machir, the son of Manasseh, were brought up upon Joseph's knees. And Joseph said unto his brethren, I die, and God will surely visit you, and bring you out of this land unto the land which he sware to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. And Joseph took an oath of the children of Israel, saying, God will surely visit you, and ye shall carry up my bones from hence. So Joseph died, being 110 years old, and they embalmed him, and he was put in a coffin in Egypt.
Wow. Wow. This story is very touching. The more I read it, I mean, how many decades ago, I would say, before and then, again and then after, it's like, you know, you look at it sometimes, you wonder, it's like, how much, you look at the men of today and the men of back then. You look at the fathers, you know, how many of us grew up with a father around us, or real good strong male figures in our homes, or maybe some of us had strong male figures and people. But to hear such a blessing from a male, a man, a father, over his sons, and look how he looked at each son's character, each son's personality. Reuben, the firstborn, was pretty much cursed for what he did, sleeping with one of his father's wives. Even though he was the first, he gave him a really bad rebuke for what he did, dishonored his father in lustful passions. So he told his kids the personality. Some of them are unstable, some of them are good, some of them are tricksters, some of them are this, but he gave Joseph a blessing. Joseph was a good boy, good son. Benjamin, later on you learn about Benjamin. Benjamin later on, some of his descendants turned out to be really bad, you know, children of Belial, later on in the story. We're going to get to those stories eventually, because there are a lot of stories we got to hear about. There's some good and bad, and the tribes, I mean, they grew together, but they got into fights with each other at some point in time later on as a family, as I guess people say as family expected. But a lot of things happened that I really wish didn't happen. It's like, what? How could the children, what, your brothers, your family? Well, aren't we part of the same human race? Aren't we brothers and sisters in this world and life? And look how we treat each other sometimes. Some hard lessons in this Bible. Hard lessons. Yet God stood with them. Look how God talked to them. Look how God talked to them so plainly. He talked to them. You know, I wonder sometimes, how do we ask God to talk to us like that? So plainly, you know? It's amazing to watch and to hear. There's a strong history. I'm sorry, I'm choked up in this. Strong history in God's word, and you wonder how many things, how many more lessons we have to go through. How many lessons have we learned? What are we learning? What are we going to do about what we're learning? You know, we hear these stories back and forth. We hear these things, and you know, I'm even wondering why I'm I'm like thinking inside, because you know, I didn't grow up with my father around. It's like the more troublesome, and he was good. He was a very bad man. Still is a bad man from what I'm concerned. He doesn't even want to have anything to do with us. And it's like, well, it's okay. So I said, I don't have a father on this side. I have a heavenly father. That's my father. That's my dad up in heaven. Not the one on earth. Not a good father. So I pray to God to be different, you know. Try to be as God's patriarchs, how you have us to be. Story time about Uncle Joe. Uncle Joe was our grandfather, but he was like a father to us. From just watching how he took care of his own kids. My mom and everybody else, I mean, aunts and them, respected that. He was betrayed a lot by his brothers and stuff, and a lot of business trades and stuff he did. A lot of his family took advantage of him. But he never stopped. He just kept going. So we have a lot of things to do. We have a lot of things in common, I guess, in this world. We have a lot of things we got to go through. But we're not alone, thankfully. And even though Uncle Joe was not perfect, he still did the best he can, singing religious songs when he can, in between drunken spells. While drunk, here's the thing. While drunk, he used to sing religious songs. I remember that. came in, I was 8, so that means that I was like 5, 6 years old. I remember him. He used to chase us to the house with a machete sometimes when he's drunk. And when he finally he can't do no more, he just lay down and just start singing songs. Oh, I worry while you can pray. Lord Jesus is master today. He will come and save you, and something like that. I don't remember all the words. But imagine that. He would not necessarily go to church with us or with them at the time. And people say, he's not a believer, he's not a Christian, he smoke and he drink and all this stuff. But he drank and smoked after when he had some bad business dealings and falling out with some of his brothers who he would build, from what I understand, he would build boats and vessels as a ship sailor. And then he'd have his brothers them come and work with him and have them to run the ship with him. And then they try to slowly swindle him out of the business and swindle him out of the ship. But he's very smart at the same time. So every time they did that, he built another one. Then the ship that they would take and use to themselves, it would get into calamity, sink, or something bad happened to it. And he built another and another, and they tried to do the same thing. So he's very stressed by a lot of things. A lot of people took advantage of him. And though he was, let's say, a Christian, in terms of how people may call a Christian, like, calling him of Christ every time, like go to church and everything, he did a lot of Christian things, and I pray to God to see him again. Tell him thank you. Not that many people. I better end it here. Not that many people you can rely upon to look out for you. He did it. So I don't know, my eyes are tears. I don't want you to see tears in my eyes at this point, So keep it real, all right? Not trying to pretend to you guys. Just saying it's a lot. Stories bring a lot to mind. God bless you guys. We'll catch up.